the Devil, Major Arcana. 2 cards came out together there, but the Knight of Cups and the 9 of Swords and the King of Cups. Lots of watery type energy in your readings. Let's pull this out after these cards. Just move them up and apart a little bit. These are going to help clarify what those cards are talking about and where the energies are headed. So Aquarius, these cards are a little more difficult to shuffle because they're a little bit bigger. These are Oracle energy cards, so they're quite intuitive and they work at quite good deep levels. Walking away, which matches the Devil quite well. Storm warning. 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. And happy family under the King of Cups. And then one more clarifier for you from this really active, kind of chattery little fairy deck. Kind of nice to welcome in the new year with some light fairy and elemental energy. And of course, as we say, this is also your birthday reading as well. Assertiveness, Sun, patience please, and marriage. I think they've really aligned themselves up very well, each 3 layers of cards. So if we go back to the first ones up at the very top, which are your traditional tarot card reading or tarot cards, you had the 1 major arcana, 2 cups and a swords, which kind of tells me that perhaps it could be an emotional month for you in this month of February. Maybe some of you Aquarians are really thinking about the dynamics of situations within your life, especially around possibly relationships, how you deal with them, what they're delivering to you, what you want out of them, what type of people you want in your life. So if we look at that first card, which came in for the very beginning of the reading, and it's your major arcana, which may play the most significant energy, that kind of represents the Capricorn energy, which also we just talked about that full, the new moon on January the 15th, which most astrologers have designated as being a very powerful energy former for the whole of how we move through for the year. There's a possibility that some of you wanted to address things in your life that needed change at a personal level, possibly either how you were treating yourself or how you're being treated in terms of relationships or even working relationships within your job or career. You might be thinking, I don't know if this is working for me. I don't know if I'm either being treated appropriately or if I'm putting enough of the right energies into what I'm doing. And again, I say for some of you this could be work or it could be more intimate and personal relationships. We know that the Devil often talks about addictions or tendencies to overindulge or go over the top or follow something too much with too much passion and desire. So it's a card that talks about bringing balance into something and slowing down and grounding yourself and rethinking about it. Especially if any of you have been in relationships or situations where you feel there has been some abuse occurring. You had 2 cards underneath it to clarify the messages. One is walking away, this one here, and the other is assertiveness. So it's suggesting to you there could be something you need to walk away from, and it could have been unbalancing you, it could have been disorienting you, or making you sort of obsessional. So it's suggesting drop it, leave it, walk away. Make this the year where you stand up for yourself and you put in some assertiveness in your life about your actions, your decisions, or the people in your life, or the way you're being treated. So it seems a really strong beginning to the read. It's kind of like really that assertiveness card at the very bottom is very powerful, and it's suggesting to you take control of a situation that you really need to change. And for some of you, this will mean walking away at the same time. So remember, this too can herald things like changing of diet or lifestyles, or dropping off things like too much alcohol or illicit drugs, or even addiction to type drugs. There could be any of these things involved in this whole chain of cards on that first lot that came in. Also for you guys, because you're so close to the beginning of the year, you know, Aquarians, you're only the second astrological sign in for the new year. So it represents a lot of people going through deep personal reassessments in their life. And that particular first column for you seems very assertive, very strong, and very telling and pointing. So given what we've said about this new moon on the 15th of January, it definitely ties in very closely with your birthday synergies and energies. It's almost as if you were next up in the line after the Capricorns who took the sort of full brunt of all this energy. You're next off the rack. So it's like, booyah, things are happening. So you can't really stop them. Expect change and accept change and go with it and see what you end up as at the end of the year. See how much you will have changed and grown, changed direction, added things to your life, and also removed things from your life. So we come to the second column, we see the Knight of Cups up here, then we see Storm Warning, then we see Sun. So the Knight of Cups, he is often about someone coming in and offering some sort of compassionate, often heartfelt emotion within a situation. So this could be someone coming into your life or someone you already know. Now it could actually be in reference to a son or someone like a son for a lot of you. So he could be coming to tell you something that maybe is very close to your heart. Perhaps you've got someone in your life who is a potential water sign or someone who has a rising or moon water sign, and they are either telling you, look, I'm moving out of home. I'm old enough now, I'm going to travel the world, or I'm going flatting, or I've had a falling out with someone. So you feel this kind of like sadness or this movement of energy coming, which is what maybe the storm warning is all about here. That storm warning heralds changes of situations, and quite quick and quite strong, and they can be a little unsettling, a little unnerving. So if this is to do with males in your life one way or another, and people within your family, possibly if it's not a son, it might be a brother or a nephew, or even something like a father, but it feels as though it's quite family related, that there feels somehow as if this message is coming from the heart, but you're a little bit sad about it. There's no need to be, because when we get to the bottom card, we see down here, your son is watched over and protected as he explores his world. So for any of you having people close in your life moving away from you, expanding their life horizons, or choosing to do something other than they would normally have done, which could be quite a shock as well, know that there is protection going for them. They might have already been through a slightly rough patch, or they're going through one themselves at this point in time, which is possibly what's making the change and the occurrence happening. If we come to the next card in this sort of third card, we see the Nine of Swords. Now the Nine of Swords is often known about feeling inner turmoil and angst and a little bit of tension. It can also herald a lack of sleep, so the inability for your mind to slow down and allow the feeling of peaceful, patient sleep to come to you. So it's an overworked mind, it's an over anxious mind, it's often a mind that can sit in fear and contemplation of things going wrong. And this could also be tied into over here with this person or people in your life that you might be a little bit concerned about, some choices they're making or places they're going. It could also be your own inner thoughts that you're worried about. Where are you headed? What's going on in your career sector, or your retirement life, or your friends' pursuits? It can be anything. But more often than not, this is about understanding that you can help to rebalance this anxiety or this worry or this fear. Now, I love the fact that this card turned up. The seventh chakra is the crown chakra, which is all the beautiful purpley amethyst sort of violet colours. And that is exactly where the Nine of Swords is working itself into a frenzy in through your mind at the top of your head. So there's a suggestion here that some of you could do with some rebalancing in that area of your body. to calm your mind down and to learn to perhaps take some deep breaths and slow things down a little bit. And this is what the patience card is also saying. Be calmer, be slower. Aquarians, you're known for an overactive mind. It very rarely settles because you're the air sign energy. Your mind is constantly just spinning away with ideas and thoughts, and oftentimes over pressurizing yourself. So this whole row here is telling you about rebalancing, slowing down, meditation, patience. Take a deep breath. Things more often than not settle themselves out. Our own anxieties and worry doesn't actually solve anything. You don't solve a problem through anxiety. You don't solve a problem through worry. You solve your problems or situations through logical thinking and being able to say, right, we'll start at step 1, we'll move it to step 2, and then we'll get to step 3. And by the time you move categorically through each systematic part of a problem, by the time you get to your step 3 or 4, most of what you were panicked or anxious about has been resolved or dealt with in an appropriate manner. What you're asking for is coming about. Have patience, as there are unseen factors that need to occur first. So it does feel like some of you are tentatively waiting on something that you can't be bothered waiting for. It's pressurizing you a bit. You're anxious to find the outcome. Just know that the universe has its own timing schedule. And as they said, sometimes there are unseen factors that are playing away in the background. So accept that, guys. Also, do some balance work on your crown chakra. It's also about listening to your intuitive self and your inner messages, as well as things like angelic contact and support from the celestial workers in your life as well. So get into contact with all of them, which will help alleviate your fears and worries. We come to this 4th card and we've got back your heart's sort of energies, the contemplation of something that's very dear or special to you, and possibly a person in that sort of type of situation. It's possibly the same person or someone similar. It can be a water sign person or a rising water sign energy. But this time he is possibly an older person, and this now we feel as though we're moving into a much more convivial and even kind of sensuous and also social energy as we come to these 3 here. The King of Cups and the 4 of what would be wands, happy family, and then marriage. The fairies join you in celebrating wedded bliss. For some of you, this could be the resolving of any previous concerns or issues that you hadn't quite made up your mind about. You might have been contemplating that certain relationships or people that you were dating or very close with, you weren't sure, did you really want to make the commitment? So this could be about extended families or blended families or merging families. It could be about new people coming into your life that form like a family membership or group, or it could be for some of you a proposal of marriage either coming to you or you proposing like a marriage or a commitment. And remember too, this can also be business related commitments and proposals and the tying up or formation of a business partnership. So that any of those are possibilities that can be held when we're talking about the marriage of something. For some of you, it is a romantic liaison and it is possibly a wedding. You might be attending a wedding. For some of you, it might be your own wedding and plans that you are making. This row in particular exudes the energy of love at very, very many levels. So it tells us too that there are sections of your life where you are surrounded by happiness and prosperity and abundance and support and nurture and love. So if you feel as though some parts are unbalanced, remember to look at this energy here and look around you and look for the love and look for the support, especially if you feel like you need it. just go seeking, because you don't have to go very far, Aquarians. You seem to be surrounded by a lot of positive opportunities coming your way when you decide to move some of the other ones out. So there you are, Aquarians. I hope you have enjoyed your reading. There are plenty of beautiful cards to look at within that pattern on the reading table. Some of you will be attracted to a certain card more than others, and if you are, you want to focus on that and meditate upon it yourself and see how deep it resonates with you and what messages it can deliver to you at your subconscious or subliminal or dream state.